want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow today.
What's up, everybody? My name is Landon Medina, here with Connections, and I'm joined by Mike Geissler of Laramie County Community College, and Mike is in charge of the CDL program up there. Thank you for joining me today, Mike.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Mike Geissler. Just retired out of the military. Have a lot of firefighting experience and ran my own company for about 20 years.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you bet. Anytime. It was a good ride. So now I'm settling into retired life, if you may, trying to keep busy. So I'm working full-time at the college running a CDL program.
Congratulations.
I'm loving the heck out of it. Let me tell you, it's a wonderful time. I really enjoy driving big rigs and sharing my knowledge with students and sending them out there. Make a new life.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of that new life, I've heard that people, once they come out of the CDL program, they kind of got something, if they want to use it as a career or if they want to use it as a fallback, kind of for the rest of their life. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Because I was a firefighter for many years. On my days off, I drove trucks, went through a nasty divorce, went over the road, got a lot of experience, moved out to Colorado, and reestablished myself, ran a business down there. Wanted to finish out my military career. And during that time frame, I didn't have my CDL, so I let it expire.
Oh, okay.
But I got it back, and I ended up running an operations center and doing all the training for CDL, and then retired, and now I'm falling back into it. So it's a good experience to have, good knowledge to have.
Good thing to have under your belt, huh? Because it's not, we're not talking minimum wage job here.
No, these are good paying jobs. I mean, if you're looking to drive over the road, you probably can make a little bit more than you do local. So when I mean local, pretty much day deliveries, be home weekends. Yeah, home to weekends and holidays possibly. Over the road, you could be out for, weeks, months at a time.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the longest you've ever been out when you were?
I was really fortunate. I landed with a good company. I ran a dedicated route. I did 4 days every week. I was home every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Nice.
It was nice, yeah. It was a good experience.
Congrats. How long have you been working up at the college for?
So I just started as a part-time instructor back in September of last year, and then there was a shift, and I was offered a position to go full-time as the coordinator back in January, so it's not been, 10 months now?
Nice.
Yeah, short.
Congrats. Does it seem like you liked it?
I'm loving it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that program. If I was watching this video and looking to get my CDL, tell me what I'm looking at, kind of where to start.
Okay. Well, first, inquire, and we have a lot of financial aid available. So individuals are out there. We're all kind of in a boat, younger individuals specifically. They may have a financial crunch. There are grants available. So I think we're working with 3 of them right now. They're specific to the circumstances, so I don't want to expand on it. So my suggestion is contact the college and reach out to them, and they'll set you up with the best fit. But once that's been established, or maybe a self-pay program through corporations wanting to sponsor their own employees, for instance, we had that happen too. Once your finances are set, we basically just put you on a schedule. It's a 5-week schedule.
Oh, no, that ain't a bad thing.
It tends to be a little bit longer than the traditional truck driving school because we add quite a bit of extra information to it.
Yeah.
So the first 4 days consist of just a permit process, and getting the individual spun up, trained for general knowledge, combination and air brakes. And so once they master that, then on the 5th day, which is typically a Friday afternoon, they go and test. Once they get their permit over at the driver services, they come back the next day. We have a simulator on property, which is it's an amazing piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It's very realistic. We can run an automatic transmission, a 10-speed transmission, 13-speed transmission. You pick the truck, you pick the bus, you pick the trailer. We pick the scenario. It's quite intense. So
you ever mess with people and give them pretty intense?
I take it out during lunch. I take it for a ride. You see if I can roll some.
Oh man, I want to try it.
Okay, yeah, you got an open invitation. I'll put you behind the wheel. Yeah. So, but basically what we use the simulator for is to introduce people to double clutching, because we teach manual transmission instead of the automatic transmission. Reason being, with a manual transmission, once they graduate from our course, they have more opportunities to pick from. If they are limited to just an automatic transmission, that eliminates probably half the jobs out there. Then for companies that still drive manual transmissions.
Right.
So we want to give them every opportunity they possibly can get. So we train on a 10-speed manual transmission. So we break the habit of the old driving, skills and things like that. Obviously, driving a big rig is going to be much different than driving a truck. So we spend about 3 days on the simulator. Once we are comfortable with them mastering the simulator, then we actually go out and do a lot of behind-the-wheel training.
Nice.
Yeah. And we focus a lot on pre-trip checks because that is crucial. That'll put a truck out of service in a heartbeat. And if they don't know what they're checking, that again, we're trying to set them up for success. So
Right.
they know exactly what they're doing out there.
And not just the knowledge to drive the truck, but success in being able to have a career or jump right into a company and not skip a beat.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Wow. It seems like especially important CDL training around here with how bad our interstates are and how bad the weather is and everything. Can you guys do that in the simulator?
We do.
So-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do nighttime. I mentioned before, we have different scenarios. We usually start out an airport scenario because it's just a wide open airfield.
Right.
You can make turns left, right, up, down, no traffic interference. There's no airplanes landing or anything. So we take the trucks out on the runway and we literally, because it's like 3 miles of just straight, we can upshift and downshift several times before we get to the end and really get them used to the shift pattern. And we turn around and we do the same thing. And then we do a little bit of backing and then we go into rural areas, then we go into suburban areas, then we get full-blown downtown areas.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. It's pretty realistic, too.
It is. It really is. Yeah. And then we can inject weather patterns. The wind, we can't mimic that we have here in Wyoming, but it does have a wind feature. But yeah, we kind of bypass
They
that.
probably don't have hurricanes in
No.
the simulator. Yeah. So, so one thing before we move on from this subject, the automatic versus the manual transmission, is it similar to a car? So if these guys learn how to drive it in the manual mode, they should be pretty good in the automatic transmission mode.
I used to have that attitude too. I used to drive just a 4-speed and 5-speed, but it is different because the shift pattern is different. You may have the start in the rear for first gear instead of up front, depending on how it's set up. And then we have a lever to use a high range and a low range. We depress the clutch only halfway to disengage the clutch instead of going all the way down like on a car. So when people come in and tell us, yeah, I've driven a standard, it's like, good. We're going to start all over again.
Throw that all out the windows. Yeah. So when these kids come in, do they get a lot of like one-on-one time with the instructor? Like, is there enough of that to where they can feel like they're asking enough questions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our student to instructor ratio, minimum is 3, max is 4. So, and where they may not necessarily lose out, what we do is we divide up the time. Classroom portion is very interactive between all of them. Simulator, they're observing. And then we also break up the simulator time with additional training, which I wanted to touch on earlier. We also teach truckers against trafficking with the human trafficking going on. That's just more of an awareness course. We also teach professionalism, how to interact with their new employers and their peers, how to how to set up their resumes, how to interview, for instance, things like that.
Wow.
How to look for jobs. Then we also do a harassment in the workplace seminar. So what to do, what you can't do, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. We do a port of entry site visit with the Wyoming Highway Patrol. The Highway Patrol comes in and they give us about 2-hour lectures of the do's and don'ts. These are all things that a lot of our competitors don't do that we do.
That seem very important.
They are.
Like we were talking about earlier, the ability to just go into an employer and be able to pick it up right away.
Correct.
Like those are some things that the employer doesn't have to train on now because you guys already ran them through it.
Well, we give them our version of it. Each company is going to be run differently, but at least they're introduced to it and know what they expect.
Right. So do these courses, do they go on like, at the semester marks? Or
No.
are they?
No. Right now we're looking at 5-week courses. So from the time they come in, the first week is on the permit, then a little bit of simulator, the rest is driving. There's new mandates coming into effect February 7th, which basically means we have to add 35 new training modules, which we basically taught before, but now they need to be expanded upon. There's new modules that had never been taught or required to be taught that need to be taught. So we're looking at maybe expanding it up to 6 weeks, but then we're also considering maybe giving part of it, as an online option.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if it's an online, then we give them 90 days. Hey, here's 35 modules at your leisure. Knock it out when you're ready. Test for the permit. And once you're done, then they come in and get behind the wheel.
Yeah. Do you think that that's the way that this is moving then?
I think so, just because the way technology is, everybody wants to do the training online at their pace, because I'll be honest with you, we're probably losing a lot of money because people cannot take off 5 weeks from school or from work to come in.
Oh, yeah.
But if they come in for 2 to 3 weeks just for driver training, that's much more palatable for them to make it happen.
So those 2 to 3 weeks, are they like 8 to 5? And
It would be. So we're year-round 8 to 4:30 is what we're doing. And then in the summertime, we offer evening courses, and we're actually looking at hiring an additional part-time instructor to do evenings and weekends. Right now, in the summertime, we do 3 weekdays, and it could be a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It could be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But we'll kind of figure out where the class wants to be. But then we always do a full day on Saturday. But with the new instructor, which we're eyeballing right now, we want to make an offer hopefully soon. That individual is available all weekend. So we can do maybe a Friday and then Saturday and a full day Sunday. That'll give people who are having a work issue the opportunity to get their CDL.
Yeah, that's I think the more accessible programs like this are available to everybody, the better for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Give whether it's a young kid or someone who's older that wants to change professions, give them an opportunity to be able to do that successfully.
Correct.
Yep.
I
love it. So if I wanted to get started, I could contact the college and they'll get me started as far as the enrollment and the registration, and then how far out until one of those classes begin.
Actually, I have R2 vehicles plus a loaner truck from Eastern Wyoming College up in Torrington, which we get to use when they don't have a class. So we can absorb more and more students. We have the demand down here to keep those trucks rolling and certify people.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. I look forward to getting this information out. Guys, we'll have a link in the description here of who you can contact at the college, and we'll have a link that kind of explains the CDL program a little bit, so you can read up on that. Once again, guys, I'm Landon Medina with Connections, and this is Mike Geissler.
Correct.
And he's the head of the CDL program out there at Laramie County Community College. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow today.